And okay. Wow, these are always such honors and delights to be part of these calls. But maybe we just start with a moment of silence together and stillness and calling in, the highest outcomes for the call and touching what it is in our hearts that pulls us here. In this unity of care. Wonderful, thank you. Well, it's Emmanuel, let's just start with opening the call up for you to, begin wherever you would like. And I'm going to check and see if I've got any messages from clients on, but that's what I'm doing here while we're talking. So.
Wow. So nice to meet you. I think this is our first meeting this year, 2023. And Happy New Year to everyone. I'm so happy to be with you here today and looking forward to share a little bit of what is happening at Magarini Children's Center for us as an updates. First, thank you so much for your continued support. Now, we are still having a very brutal drought here. And it has now increased because normally it goes at least 32, 33, but now it goes even to 35, which is very hot. And we are now almost mid of February, and still there are still some not large signs of having rain maybe in March. So if these signs are not so coming, then maybe it will come in March or late than that. So it's something that it's a bit scary, but we are coping with it as we cannot avoid it so far. At Magarini Children's Center, as we speak now, we have all children board, and we had those who also finished the grade 8, and they are now joining for the high school, that is for the secondary school. So these ones, they are to join, they were to report on the 6th, or the reporting goes until tomorrow, that is Monday the 13th. So we were looking for support to support them to go to high school, and we are happy that I received an email from Stage. I think some of us know Stage for the IPG, that International Peace Group. And the family, that is Chris and Allison, have also taken the initiative to support the children once again to pay for their cause. So we are now waiting for Sage to send the money maybe tomorrow. And then once the money is in the account, we will distribute them as we do always, so that they go to the respective schools in the various areas that they got. This time they got, they did very well, and most of them, they are going outside the county. And when I say outside the county, is that they go to the national high schools, and also some of them are coming within the county. So this is one way of maybe interacting with other students, because those who go to the up country, they interact with other tribes, and then also some of the up country people also do come to the other counties. So that's the good news for the grade 8, that we give them to other high schools. But for the new curriculum, that is the competent-based curriculum, CBC, they have to go until grade 6. And then from grade 6, they will go to junior secondary school. But this time, the junior secondary school, the government, I think, was not prepared as such. So they will do the junior secondary school learning right at the same school. So all the children who are in grade 6, they will now join grade 7 at the center, but they will have different teachers who will be teaching them the lessons that they would get in junior secondary school. So we opt now to buy like course books for the junior secondary school, which will be now at the center for the first year. So from grade 6, they will join. So with the big building, or the long building, the 2-story building that we have, we took like 2 classrooms on top, so that they can use those who are joining grade 7, and we deployed maybe 2 teachers who will be able to teach for the junior secondary school. So that is the update as regarding the children who finished grade 8 and joining the secondary school, and those who finished grade 8 and joining junior secondary school at the center. And normally they will not move from that to there. They will remain at that until maybe 2 years. Then they will move to the either they call it secondary school in the A level according to the syllabus. So now we are having the grade 7, that is those who finished the grade 6, joining the grade 7, which junior secondary school. We have like 40 children who are joining, and they will remain at the center. Also, as we speak now, we have the normal children, those who have been going on from, they are making their exit, or they are finalizing for getting the junior to the secondary school. Those who are in grade 8 now at the center, that this will be their last year when they do their national exam. Then they will be phasing out. So it will be now grade 6, and then from grade 6 they join junior secondary school. We have also been trying to get, because it is very dry, and children, we need to feed them also with vegetables. So we opt to have like a small part of the land that we do irrigation. And also we have been making the area that we used to have the food forest. Now we have revived the food forest. We have planted bananas and planted papaya and sugar cane and mango. So they are all now growing again because we are using small to irrigate these trees. Why we do that? Because at least if we have bananas and we have papaya and at least we have vegetables at the center, this will be very good because providing them with this, we know for sure these vegetables are safe. Only if we buy rice or we buy corn flour, then we know we have something that is growing at home, which we are sure that this is very safe for the children. So that's why we decided to continue to have a place at least where we can have vegetables and some fruits for the children. We have now also been able to taking care of the existing trees. Because of the drought, the children have been really working hard to provide them with water. The borehole is still functioning well, and that's why the children, at least they give water to the trees that we already planted. And now they're about like 2 meters high. They are growing slow because of the drought, but at least they are surviving because when the rain comes, we are sure they will grow up very, very, very fast. So that's how it is right now as we speak. And we now also, because of not having the rains, we will also need supplementary food for maybe until the rains come, as from next month. So from March onwards, if the rains will not be able to come, then we will need supplementary food. We need to buy food for the children because as we speak, what we bought from last time will be finished from this month. So that's the situation right now as we speak. And we also had some visitors who visited the center, especially we had one or two from South Africa whom they wanted to learn more about organic farming, and we hosted them for a week or two, for 2 weeks. They stayed at the center, and they also changed. They went also to Kilifi, but we were lucky to have them at the center. And also we had also local people from up country who also visited the center for learning more about what we do in terms of organic farming. And our plans in terms of if do we really need to, they wanted like, do we have space for them to come and learn? But we shared our challenge with them that we would really love to, but we still don't have accommodation part of what will be needed for such people from outside. So far we have some tents, but we can host maybe 4 or 4 or 3 or less. So when we have like 4, or we can accommodate them with our the tents. But if we have more than, then we cannot. So that is how it's happening. And we now also received the computers. So the computers are, in the computer class, we have some computers which were, we bought them in the last year, but we could not bring them because the tables in the classroom were not yet ready, but they got ready, and we managed now to bring the computers at the center. What we need to do is maybe to put some doors, or to put door, and at least to make the classroom windows more safe to keep the computers. But the computers are now at the center, and the children were so happy to start playing with them. That was so good. And that's now we have the pigs. We have the pigs. They are doing well, and we were making the house for the poultry, for the chicken. I mean, we get it prepared, so we look forward also to get maybe new chickens at the center, so that we are able now to be full again. We are this month, we will have also to host one visitor from Denmark, that is Karin. She will come for 4 days to the center. She's looking for the boys' dormitory and the water tank that she built. She's never been there, but she will come for that. She said she will stay maybe for 4 days, and then she will be in Nairobi. I think now she's already in Nairobi, and she will arrive maybe Tuesday or tomorrow, Tuesday in the afternoon. And then she will go back on Saturday, because she said she has a short period to stay. But we will be happy to host her for the time, and also looking forward maybe to know her plans in terms of supporting the center. We will know, because she had stopped for a while. But now maybe she wanted to be sure if what she did was maybe on the site. So she will be checking, and from there maybe we'll get the way forward. So we also have our board meetings, which we normally, this year, we also have not done one, but normally we have our board meetings, and normally we are trying to come up on how can we come up making even the center more sustainable. And with that, therefore, we thought of the new classrooms for the high school, because we normally use, every year we use almost like 38 or 38 to 40 $1,000 to pay for school fees. But now, if maybe we have classrooms that can be able to serve as a high school, then that one can be even more sustainable. If there is no money, but we have the classrooms going on, then they will be able to join. So we had talked with that with Sage, and also Chris and Alison and Stephen. So they said they will be setting some fundraising to start for the new classrooms for the high school or for the secondary school. And the main vision is to have it maybe from next year. From next year, maybe we don't look for funds, but we from this year, September, October, November, December, this will be time for building the classroom for the secondary school, as we have the land available. So that is how it is happening as we speak. The stage and Stephen, they are working on how they can come up with money, at least to have $50,000 to build 2 classrooms first, and then for the 2024, whom will be joining in the secondary school, they can already join at the center. So that is how the situation right now is at the center, what we are expecting and what we are looking forward to do within this year. So thank you so much. Maybe if there is any question or comments, then I'm happy to.
Okay, now what?
Well, it's a beautiful report out, Emmanuel, and a lot going on, as always.
Thank you.
Is this, you mentioned the visitor from Denmark, is that Karen?
Yes.
Wonderful. It'd be interesting to maybe catch an interview with her or something like that after her visit.
Okay.
I've not met her yet, but I'm just thinking, for those that don't know, Karen has been a major supporter at the center, as a friend and financial gifts and so on. So it'd be nice if there was some way to catch her impressions from the visit.
Yeah.
And share those.
We have Fraha, Tumaini, they are the center, and also I think we have a good camera now that we can capture some of the interest. She want to stay with the children for in class. She may not be able to teach, but to know how the class progressing done.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went to talk to the staff, to teachers, and for two days, and then she will go back.
Wonderful. Well, any questions from anyone, or reflections or comments?
It's so disturbing to hear about the continued drought and the stress that it's putting on everyone, and it just really is really frightening, Emmanuel, because it's so out of your control and everybody else's control. You just have to hope that somehow the clouds appear and bless you with some rain. I'm assuming then that the communities and villages that are close by are suffering as well.
For they are suffering, but at least right now it is a source of life, because water is available at the center. So many people do come from far and near just to get maybe 20 liters of water. And but they are sure if they come at the center, they will get at least some water. And that is something that the community is now like holding up to, because it's the only source of getting some water while it's very dry. But at least we are happy we have the water that we can share.
Yeah, that's true.
Is the fundraising for the second blowhole still progressing to, so that you have another well that you can depend on?
We talked about it, and we went to start. We reached some friends, and so far I think we had like Randy and others who showed interest to fundraise for the well, but so far I haven't heard much. So I don't know, maybe on the other side, what is happening right now. But what I can say about it is that we still have people trying to do the fundraising, but we haven't reached the money yet.
So I could add to that a little bit that Emmanuel and I think you may have heard this in the last meeting, that we had a meeting with the water engineers of America and Africa.
Mhm.
And they're a nonprofit group that has technical expertise, including in people in Kenya. And they would be willing to be a US at least nonprofit funnel source for collecting funds, and they would not take any money from what we raise. They're not a fundraising group, but they would provide us a channel to raise through, and also sort of a stamp of credibility and legitimacy that I think is valuable. What remains there in part to do is to fill out the partnership agreement, and I've not had time to do that. And so maybe if that's something that we can use help with. And Emmanuel, you sent some documents to them. So there's sort of some paperwork that needs to be done, but it's a little bit of a time-consuming piece. I'd love to get to that soon, but I'm not sure when I can. So, and Randy's plugged in, and he's
Is that something the board of directors could pick up and accomplish? It seems like such a critical piece.
I don't see the board having that, whatever, but Emmanuel, I'll leave that to you to respond to.
In terms of sending the paperwork, I think I already did send some information as they requested. And also they requested some photos, recent photos, but I sent photos, but those photos were a little bit from the old. But now we have a good camera, and we have taken some photos and we have shared. And I think they will be able to set the website on their website so that they can start the campaign.
So they will put up a web page and list us as the Magarini Center as a partner in their projects, which should be.
What's the name of the group, Larry?
It's the Water Engineers of America and Africa, I believe. I have that right. And interestingly, they're located in Santa Fe. So,
That's
which,
good.
for which anybody that doesn't know, that's where I'm at as well. So looking to meet with them personally at some point. So yeah, that second well remains, I think, certainly in my mind, and for all of us, a priority. Piece that I hope to be able to put more energy into in the near future.
Daniel, you mentioned that if the drought continues, your food supply, you have enough food for the rest of this month, but if the drought continues, you may be food short for March. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, I think I was saying that normally when rains come, maybe March or April, then we do the planting, and then we have a space of like 2 or 3 months to harvest. Then once we harvest, we have our own food. But now we did not harvest last time, but we received the funds to support for food. But now this will be sufficient until the end of this month. And then from March going onwards until August, then here we will need support, because already if the rain comes, then from August onwards, we will have our own food.
Is there anyone in particular that's raising funds for the food possible shortage? Is that directly through through the center, or is that going through
For the
the,
last for the last periods of the last times, this was picked by maybe 1 or 2. They just say, okay, if we need like 2,500, then the one picks up and say, okay, I will pay. So if he pays or she pays, then we don't need to fundraise. We continue with that. So if we can make it maybe a continuous fundraising, then I don't know how that we can be, but for so far we have been like, if we say, okay, now we need food from this time to this time, we need maybe 3,000, then maybe sometimes we get 1 or 2 people say, okay, we are going to cover that, then we remain safe for that.
Uh-oh, what happened? What did I do?
You're still with us, Catherine.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I'll just jump in here with something that I'm feeling, which is what it is to be willing to be witness to things that feel out of my power and control to shift in some ways, such as the food needs or the water needs. And it just, what is it in this time that we live in? And Emmanuel, I can't imagine on your end what that's like, to be witnessing and be present to the depth of needs that are there, from education to the food piece to the absence of rain, no control over that. And it is in some ways living in grace, so to speak, from day to day. But I'm just trying to acknowledge this time that we're living in on the planet, and spreading droughts. Kenya's, and much of that part of Africa is in such deep drought. In this country, drought is increasing, and from wildfires to the political times that we're in. And to just be in heart here together as we care and hold some intention, and also holding an invitation consciously into the universe for meeting these food needs at the center, or inviting in, this second well and seeing it happen and in place. I'd love to see that before the end of this year. And also what an amazing story is being lived out there at the Magarini Children's Center, Emmanuel Farm. Not only in providing water to neighboring people, but holding forth a vision of what it is to be in relationship with the soil and the planet and with nature in such a way that as we love it, it loves us back and teaches us to love each other more. Emmanuel, I'd love to just, if you care to share or reflect back any of that in some way.
For the last 2 weeks, I've been connecting myself very deep with the soil, and I've been touching soil at different spots in Magarini Children's Center, and also outside Magarini Children's Center. And also I have gone to some forests, and I've gone to forests that are outside, and I've also gone to like mangrove forests to get the sense, because mangroves lives in the water, and they get water right from the sea. They live in the water, and how is it for them with the current drought, though they get water? So I just wanted to understand, and maybe how is the communication and networking of the trees is coming up, and maybe how the soil is shared. And it's very difficult and scary this time because of the insights I get, and it is time that healing is really required for the soil, for the people, because right now most people are traumatized by the drought and not very sure how they will be surviving in terms of getting food, of which is the concern for every government and every people. So what I've realized, what I have learned is that the communication I get from the soil is that we are not all safe, because the soil is not safe. And this communication comes, but it's landing on a very few people. And the more damage we put and the less care we put, they does not balance. And sometimes there have been droughts, because before I asked some also older men, and there have been droughts, but they always say this is even more severe than the droughts that have been there. There have been hunger, yeah, there have been lack of food in the previous years, many years ago, but they say this is becoming even more severe. And what does that tell? It tells us that our relationship with land, with soil, with nature is always every day degrading. It's always going down. It's always going down. So if we need to heal, we need to heal all of us. So it's now time not to feel myself to heal, but if I can do something to make the land heal, or to make the soil heal, or at least to create something for the next generation. So now I have come up with a few ideas at the center, like whatever we do, what we do, and whatever we do at the center should be done for the next generation. So the child who is now 5 years at the center planting trees for the next generation, the one who is now 14 years planting trees for the next generation, the staff and the community trying to plant trees for the next generation. We are now like stopping to look of ourselves. We have all these needs, we are all this, but if we face this today, how about the next, those who will live tomorrow? How can we make it even at least better for them, and creating a space where they can also think to create something better for the next generation. So this is now like coming up with the children and all of us. Whatever we try to do, we do it for the next generation. How does that mean? We want to make it even more sustainable for ourselves and for the other people who will come. So now, as we know that it's very hot now because of the drought, still the communication of the soil within our legs when we walk barefoot, and when we put our hands as we prepare for the long rains, if they will come, the communication is still very not so clear. Sometimes I could get very clear communication in terms of the amount of rains, of the little rain, but now the communication is that there is drought and I have to prepare drought. It will rain, maybe it will rain for a few days too much or very little, but we need to prepare. So what we know, we plant tree and we support it with water. When it rains heavy or it rains slowly, the roots will be able to go deeper, and they can also try to find for themselves and try to survive. But that is how we are dealing, or we are trying to build our own resilience in terms of, okay, what we do for the next generation. So the baby, the children, they say we do this for the next generation. So we want this to continue within this at the center, to the children to learn that. So that is what we are trying to do as we get the communication within the soil and the trees.
That's very powerful, Emmanuel. Last time we met, you told a story about the children basically adopting trees, and that they were developing a relationship with trees.
Yes.
And I've told that story many times. Because unfortunately, where I live, people are only concerned about themselves. They're not concerned about the next generation. They're not concerned about the trees. And I just want to thank you for, I just want to thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't stay on any
deep.
longer.
That's deep and touching. Thank you.
I've never met you, but I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
And unfortunately, I have to go. Not because of how I'm feeling right now, but because of a prior commitment. I'll continue to do what I can do. And I just want to let you know that your stories have had an impact here too. They've had an impact with me. And I've told stories about your trees and hands in the soil to many people.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Tom.
Thank you so much.
Just, hold space here for anyone else that wants to share or reflect and see where it goes. And
I'm so distraught here. I don't know how to get it signed off.
I can put it out, Tom.
Well.
Okay. On the far right bottom of your screen, is there
Yeah.
or something like that? Okay. Gotcha. Well,
This is my, excuse me, my name's Catherine. This is my first time participating. I'm not very well conversed in Zoom, for one, but this is very touching and heartfelt. And I'll be talking to you later, Larry, more about this. But thank you very much for what you're doing, all of you. Thank you. I have to leave too.
Catherine, so good to have you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. And I'm not even sure how to turn it off, but we'll see.
Okay, I think I can do it too
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
for now.
Bye.
Hmm.
I'm also trying to, on the side of political leadership, I have a group, I think maybe Larry or Barbara, you know about it, Peace from the Soil. And with Peace from the Soil, normally we have been working together before this, we took over the political leadership. But now we want to engage the communities to come up with a climate smart project. And what I mean by the climate smart is that the community is experiencing the drought and the threat of hunger lowering within themselves. And I was thinking like, okay, if we stop, like the community, we should run a campaign, we should not kill trees. And we come up with a place where we have like a source of water. From the source of water, community plant trees. At the same place, community have an alternative way of income generating activities to support their livelihoods. So when you visit or when you go to that particular spot where like a pilot for climate smart, then you are able to see trees growing, and then you are able to see people growing food sustainably. You can see like now the young mothers doing the reusable sanitary towels and also reusable children pampers. And now want to, maybe they can make like the school uniforms and to get income for this. And I think also baking breads, if they can bake and make their own bread, and also this can be able to make them sustainable and start thinking of going deeper on how we can have this climate smart project. But at the same time, the main big theme behind this is whatever we do it for the next generation. So at whatever age you are, at whatever age you are, whatever you do it for the next generation. If we build a house, let's think of the next generation. If we drill a borehole, let's think of the next generation. How does we, because the water we are drilling from underground, it's also, we don't know how much remaining down there because we have been drilling and bringing them up because of the drought. But how can we make sure at least whatever we use then can give back to where we took? So when we plant trees and when the rain comes, we know we are giving back the water that we have been using and it will come again. So all these are like trying to create a circle that will be like this, but everyone does something for the other person. Everyone does for the other person.
Beautiful. Thank you, Emmanuel. Maybe we just all become conscious of letting our hearts feel where we're at. In breath and feel. It's easy for me to go into overwhelm when I feel the needs sometimes, but also there's such gratitude to be touched here, including this vision that you're holding forth, Emmanuel, and that the center represents. And and part of this vision is truly the interconnectivity. Thich Han called the interbeing. I'm coming to think of and call the interbreathing, just as a different languaging to acknowledge and honor our interconnectivity. And I have a short poem I'd love to share for closing if we don't have anything else here for us. This is a rich call, as always. But just a final moment to say anything else that anybody wants to speak to.
I invite you all to Magarini Children's Center, a healing center for all of us.
I long to come visit, but if I haven't been there in body, I am there in spirit, and these calls help me so much. I was sharing with Larry for several months. My father has been declining in health, and he passed away the 22nd of January. So in the midst of all of that, we had our last call the 11th of December, but I saw kind of at the last minute that there was going to be a call today, and I thought some things were going to happen. I wouldn't be able to come, but this is a highlight. It gives me hope. Yes, the drought's worse. We have droughts here, but there is such hope. And Larry has talked about the interconnectedness of trees with their roots from one to another. They aren't separate, nor are your trees there separate from our trees here. It is all one earth. We are all connected. We are people. There is no new water. It's, water that falls now from the sky might have been dinosaur tears a few millennia ago. And it is something that we can give hope and seek to make more people aware how important the trees and our climate is, that we can't just destroy the earth. There's no planet B. There's no other earth to go to. So but your vision just fills my heart with joy and peace that we will survive, but we have to do it together. We can't I did it on my own. We can't do that anymore. The time has passed. We've got to come together. And thank you so much for who you are and what you do and the vision that you share with us, Emmanuel. It just is overwhelming sometimes, but thank you.
Barbara, Lori, anything? No pressure.
No, I'm stunned and deeply honored. I'm not coming up with the right words for what I'm feeling, except to say how grateful I am and honored to be here.
Mm. Thanks for your support, Laurie.
Yes, same here. I'm very grateful that we had the chance to meet in this call again, and it's yeah, just it's a miracle how it goes on, and how like there are the big challenges like the food that is needed now, and at the same time you have the new school buildings on your mind, and the borehole, and even though it's, as Larry says, it's overwhelming what is needed. I just hope that this time also someone shows up and it goes on. But it's always, yeah, it's always very strong to feel that.
Mm. Thank you, Barbara. And I just want to say personally how good it is to see you here, share this space again. So this is a recent poem that came out that I did put up on Facebook, so you may have seen it there, but it speaks to me of part of where we're meeting here in the midst of a world that has been caught up in a story of separation. And so this poem begins, beyond story. Beyond story, there is no part of you that can be entangled from me. This is reciprocal, so don't worry, no need to run. Just ask wind or tree. Mountains singing waters, soil, air. Ask moon or sun if you wish, or any one of cosmic stars galore. Ask atoms or some subatomic quarks or buddy particles, yet unnamed. If they are not also we. For in all of this entanglement, heart knows to follow belongings, wild joys, home. For in all of this, heart knows to follow belongings, wild joys, home. So it's an honor to be here and belonging with each of you. Emmanuel, closing words.
Thank you, everyone, for being part of us. We are all one. And thank you for making this earth of ours trying to heal in one way or the other. I feel it. So let's keep working on the relationship with our Mother Earth, so that at least we may be able to get guidance, to get advice, to get insights on how we can prepare Mother Earth for the next generation.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Let's talk soon too. Love to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Try to give more notice for our next call. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Namaste.